Hey, hey everybody, this is Patrick Collins, aka the Big PH. Just got done watching Smackdown and gonna give you guys a review. My first official review. Yeah! But, yeah, so subscribe to the channel, and if you like the video, don't forget to rate it. Thumbs up. So, let's start off with the good. There wasn't much, let's be honest. There was not much good to be seen in this show. I will say the opener was fantastic. Daniel Bryan versus Christian. Uh, you know, Daniel Bryan's a workhorse, and Christian, he just came back, so he's trying to give it his all, and they put on a really heck of a match. It was stiff, and it was really good. Daniel Bryan ends up winning it with the yes lock, because that's what it's called now. It's no longer the no lock, it's the yes lock. So Daniel Bryan wins it, but it was a really good contest between the two. And the next match after that, which and it's also great when I see a match on TV that I haven't seen 100 times. So I haven't seen Daniel Bryan versus Christian yet, and I thought it was really good. And I also haven't seen the next match, which was Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso. They put on a decent contest. There was some decent back and forth action. Seth Rollins ends up winning that one with a little with his little stomp to the back of the head. With some there was a little bit of a distraction. And the other good thing, the last good thing, unfortunately, that I have to talk about is Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is really talented, and it's good that WWE is actually like pushing him as a face now, because he's a natural face. He's got like that cocky kind of carefree attitude that people really like. He's like that one guy that could be friends with everybody in high school. Like he's friends with the popular people, and he's friends with the misfits. Everybody likes him, and he's that kind of guy. And it's good that when we as the fans turned him during Extreme Rules, that the WWE just went with it, and you got to give him credit for that. And then it was Alberto Del Rio versus Sin Cara, and I was shaking my head. I was like, gosh, I already was marking it down as bad because I had seen this match 1,000 times, and it doesn't matter if the action's good. If I've seen it 1,000 times, I don't want to see it anymore. But as it turns out, as soon as he took off his jacket, I was like, wait, Sin Cara is not white. And it was Dolph Ziggler in a Sin Cara mask, and he proceeded to beat up Alberto Del Rio, and I thought it was really cool because it was different, and because during the beginning, you know what, he played Teddy Long for a fool, and that's another thing to just make him get over as a face, because Teddy Long's just a douchebag. But let's talk about the bad. And really, I guess let's talk a little bit more about good, but it's not really good from SmackDown. It's good from Raw. The Maddox becoming the GM of Raw, amazing. I'm still euphoric over it. And of course the debut of the Wyatt family. I can't talk more. I can't, not talk about the Wyatt family, because I've been anticipating their debut for a long time. I was late, I'll admit, but as soon as I heard Bray Wyatt talk on the mic, I was hooked, and I was like, this is gonna be big. This is gonna be real big. And then the WWE packaged them perfectly. They debuted great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with them in the future. And I think WWE has lightning in a bottle, as long as the fans stop with the Husky chants, and I think they will. I am almost 100% certain that they won't be chanting Husky Harris after a while, because his character is that powerful, is that believable. But on to the bad. Axel versus Jericho. Look, WWE. You wonder why you wonder why your new talent doesn't get over like you want it to. You wonder why your championships and your champions don't mean anything. You wonder all of this, and yet you book matches like this, where Chris Jericho beats him via countout. Like he hits the code breaker on the while Axel's on the apron on the outside of the ropes. He hits the code breaker. He falls out of the ring and he gets the 10 count. And you wonder why we don't. And then you have him like acting kind of like a little bitch at the end of the match, just having thrown a little tantrum. And you wonder why we can't take all those people seriously. And speaking of not taking people seriously, let's talk about Ryback for a second. Ryback was a monster. Ryback should be a monster. Feed Me More was over. But no, then they had to flip him heel because he had to be John Cena's little jobber bitch. And that is the long and short of it. And now that the bridge is burnt and nobody cares anymore, they don't know what to do with it. So he faces The Miz, and they're doing this injury angle, it should be a role reversal. Miz should be just a douchebag, cocky heel. He's a natural at it. He's not a face. Ryback should just be a monster tweener, like just destroying everybody. The fans would cheer him, but no. When he was over, and they ruined it. And with Miz, they need to turn. But so let's just say that was really bad. That was really, really bad. And then there's, speaking of role reversals, AJ and Caitlyn. It seems like an obvious role reversal. AJ is the natural girl next door, kind of nerdy baby face, and I think Caitlyn could make an excellent heel. I really do. She has that power, and she looks intimidating. She could be over heel, and it's just that the only reason I put this in the bad section and not the ugly section, I'll tell you, is because it's the best feud that the Divas division has had in a long time. I will say that. The best feud. Because there has been no storylines in the Divas division, so they're finally giving us a storyline. So, let's see. One time of the night, Vicky Guerrero came out, and I'll talk more about that in a second, but it didn't really matter. I think the whole reason was just so fans could give her the whole na-na-na chant goodbye, and if that's what it is, that's what it is. But it was stupid. We already did it on Raw. There was no point to it. And how'd she get a mic anyway? You're supposed. She had a ticket. She ripped it up. I don't. It was retarded. So then there was Fandango versus Wade Barrett. The heel versus heel thing does not work. Fans didn't care. I didn't care. Match sucked. And just like the heel versus heel thing doesn't work, face versus face doesn't really work. Because in both situations, the fans don't know who to cheer and don't know who to boo. So they're just in limbo. And the main event, Sheamus versus Randy Orton, was shit anyway. And the fans didn't care, and I didn't care. And I've seen it a million times. And then to wrap up the show, we had a four-way brawl. Daniel Bryan comes out, sets up the ladder like he did on Monday, and then Christian runs out, and they were having a back and forth where they're having a little back and forth, and then Randy Orton RKO's Daniel Bryan and climbs to the top and grabs the fake case. Symbolically, I symbolically hope that he does not win, because we don't need a Randy Orton title reign. But overall, if you didn't get it by now, overall I did not like the show. There was the parts that I liked were few and far in between, and the best part for me was the opener. Daniel Bryan is a workhorse, and I think soon, maybe in a year or so, he'll be ready for a lengthy title reign. The thing about Daniel Bryan is he needs to solidify his character, and that's WWE's fault too, because they make him is he a face? Is he a heel? He doesn't know, so WWE doesn't know, and Daniel Bryan doesn't know. He doesn't know where his character is supposed to develop. But hopefully soon he'll get it. The down and Christian, I'm glad to see Christian back. It's been a long time, and whenever a superstar comes back, he feels fresh, and mix him up with different people. But the thing about Christian is he is looking really, really small, so I worry if that'll affect his push. And the worst part of the night for me was I think the main event, like Sheamus versus Randy Orton. It was just shit, and I've seen it a million times, and it was boring, and it was not it was not a good go home show for the TLC pay-per-view, which I'm really looking forward to, and I'm gonna do a preview of tomorrow. But for right now, yeah, the show wasn't that good. The heel versus heel and face versus face dynamic does not work, and it's awful when the person that gets the most heat on the entire show isn't even a wrestler. Vicky Guerrero got the most heat on the entire show, and I think that is a problem when your crowd is apathetic towards your superstars and towards your heels, because a heel needs to get heat, and when no one's really getting heat, that's as much of a problem as if there's a babyface not getting cheers. But that's all for my SmackDown review. Yeah, like I said, tune in for the TLC preview and the TLC review on Sunday. This is Patrick Collins, aka the Big PH. Follow me on Twitter, the Big PH1. Friend me on Facebook, and like I said, subscribe to my channel. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. See you and catch you next time.